This book is by Doug Tenapple. This book is about how a boy named Ellie, his dog got hit by a car, and when he goes to his grandpa's farm to get his mind off things, he goes exploring by a nearby cave, and he finds a full-grown T-Rex. The news about him finding the T-Rex spreads like crazy across his neighborhood. The neighborhood bully is gonna make his life and his T-Rex life miserable. Bye. If you like fantasy and dinosaurs, then this book is for you. Read the book to figure out how this wraps up.
This book is called Holes by Louis Sacher. In this book, Stanley Yelnats got a choice of either going to jail or going to Camp Green Lake. He chose Camp Green Lake because he thought there was a lake, but there wasn't. It was a dry land with lots of holes. He had to dig one hole 5 feet deep and 5 feet wide every day. He got blisters from the shovel. He escaped to find his friend Zero that ran away. Read this book to find out if they survived the hot sun.
This book is called The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Coffer. This book is about a sibling named Connor and Alex. And like everybody else does, they live in a normal house and lives in a normal life. But their whole life changes when their grandmother gave them a fairy tale book. They have no idea when they fall into a real-life fairy tale world. They get amazed when they meet real-life fairy tale characters. But when it's time to go back to the real world, they have to find the wishing spell. It's not going to be easy. They have to fight the evil queen from Snow White, witches, and fearful creatures. They also discover a fairy tale story about their grandmother. Read this book to find more about Alex and Connor's magical journeys and dangers ahead of them. I think the person who liked this book is somebody who likes fiction books.
This is a book story. Smile was written and illustrated by Raina Telgemeier. So one night she was running with her friends and she tripped and fell, and one of her teeth fell out, so she had to get them surgically put back into place, but something was wrong with her mouth. Her upper bone was damaged, so she looked like a vampire. And then she got braces. Yay. So since she got braces, she was rewarded with getting her ears pierced. Then she signs up to play the flute and falls in love with someone. He's a 6th grader, she's a 7th grader, whatever. Okay. And so soon there was a school of Valentine's dance, but then she bailed out and stuff because she got sick. Read the rest of the story to find out what's happened. You should read it because like everyone's read it, so. Alright, and she met some new friends. She didn't want to be friends with her old friends no more because they were mean to her. And yeah.
This book is called The Last Kids on Earth. The author, Max Fowler, illustrator, Douglas Holken. This book is about an orphan kid in some sort of monster zombie apocalypse. He is looking for any survivors, mainly his friend. He does anything to find him in the world he lives in now. He found 3 people instead of just his friend, which is good. He must stop Blarg before he destroys the whole town. Will they defeat Blarg or Blarg defeat them? Read this book to find out if they live. This book is a good book if you like
My
action.
book is called Killer History by Cliff Gifford. This book has no main characters because it has lots of different stories. It also has the weirdest ways people have died in the past. One of the 2 weirdest ways people have died in the past is one, an eagle dropping a turtle on a guy's head and dying. The other one is when this guy trips over his beard trying to escape from a building on fire. He tripped and broke his head. Why people should read this book is because it teaches you how to make a mummy, and it teaches you how to make a shrunken head.
Ungifted
by Gordon Corman. Devon Curtis is an ordinary kid in a regular school until one day Devon and his friends went up to the statue and threw a stick at the statue's orb. Little did they know it would run down the hill and ruin a very big gym. Instead of paying a lot of money, Devon got sent to the Academy of Scholastic Distinction, which is short for ASD, a school for talented and gifted kids. If you love an adventure book, this book is for you. In this book, there is a kid named Devon Curtis. He is an ordinary kid, but a lot of trouble.
Called Seeing Cinderella by Jenny Lundquist is about a girl named Callie having a wonderful school year in Pacific View Middle School, when all of a sudden her eye doctor said she needed hideously large-looking glasses. She thought her life was ruined forever, but the glasses aren't that bad because she had discovered that they could read people's minds. Callie also wanted to try the theater elective, so now she's in the production of Cinderella, which she earned a leading lady in a life as a fairy tale or stuck as a background with hideously large-looking glasses. If you like fantasy or realistic fiction or both, you will love this book. Also, you might want to find out if Callie finds a role in this play.
Dogman by Dave Pilkey. Meet Dogman, the world's greatest cop. In the world of Dogman, crime is rising everywhere, and he's the only one who can stop it. Dogman was originally created by his worst enemy, Petey the cat. There's a new breed of justice in town, and that breed of justice is Dogman. I think people should read this book because it has action, suspense, and laughs. And Dave has a lot more books just like it.
Tales from a Not-So-Dorky Drama Queen by Rachel Russell. In this book, the main character, Nikki, has her diary stolen by Mackenzie. Mackenzie is a bully at Nikki's school and targets Nikki, but Nikki will not stand for her diary being stolen. She looks everywhere for her diary, at the library where she helps, at her house, but she cannot seem to find it anywhere. She gets help from her best friends, Cole and Zoe, who help her find her diary. And you will get a peek into Mackenzie's life when Mackenzie writes in the diary, and you will get to see her side of the story. You should read this book because there are a bunch of books in the series that you will read if you like it. Plus, you will get to see everyone's side of the story and Mackenzie and all her evil schemes.
Babysitter's Club by Rihanna Tugman and Braden Lamb. This book is about 4 girls that want babysit. Their names are Christy, Claudia, Mary Ann, and Stacy. They started the babysitting club because they wanted to collect money that they would easily share. They usually have their meetings at Claudia's house. When there's a call to babysit, they will watch them, whether it's a dog, baby, or toddler, because it's their job to get it done. Read this book to find out if Christy, Claudia, Mary Ann, and Stacy can accomplish babysitting. If you want to find out, read The Babysitter's Club. I think you will like this book if you like drama and babysitting. And the last reason I think you should read this book is because it could help you experience if you would ever like to babysit a baby yourself.
Book author Jeff Smith. This book is about 3 bones who get ran out of their town because of all the problems they cause. Now they're in a desert trying to survive. They find a mysterious map on the ground. Then, suddenly, a swarm of bugs blow them off the side of the cliff. They all get split up. The youngest Fawn Bone, lands in a forest. He is scared. He enters the forest and has to face the horrifying monsters and animals ahead. Read more to find out. I think somebody else would like this book because it has comedy, adventures, surprises, and it's an interesting book.
This book is Sisters by Anna Tiglemire. This book is about 3 weeks, 2 sisters, and their new little brother with only 1 car. Rihanna and her sister Amara and her brother are going on a road trip from California to Colorado. But when her new little brother comes into her life, something doesn't seem right between their parents. They realize they have to work together for their parents. Will they succeed on their plan or fail? Read more to find out. If you like books that are realistic fiction and humorous, and there are cliffhangers, you will like this one. This book is interesting and always wanting more. This author has more books related to this.
This book is Who? Book author Carl Hysen. In this book, there is two boys, Roy and Mullet Fingers. What happens in this book is there is a new pancake house they're building in Coconut Cove, but there are burning arrows in the ground. And if they build a pancake house, the owls will be killed. So it's up to Roy and Mullet Fingers to stop them. What will they do and when? Why you should read this book is so you find out what they do and when. Plus, there are more books just like it that hero.
Turtle in Paradise, written by Jennifer Alhoom. This book is by a girl named Turtle whose mother is very poor since they lived in 1935, also known as the Depression. Though Turtle's mom was lucky, her mother took a job as a maid for the rich people to gain the money for her dream. She dreamed of a nice big home and all the things they thought would make them happy. So when Turtle's mom took on one job where she found out she couldn't take Turtle with her, because of this, Turtle is sent away to an aunt she's never seen, cousin she's never met, on the little street of Curry Lane, Key West, Florida. I think you should read this book to find out if they get that dream, and to also see if everything comes out happy or if everything falls apart.
Lemonade Crime by Jacqueline Davies. 1 week ago, siblings Evan and Jesse Tusky had a lemonade war to see who could sell the most cups. In the end, Evan borrowed his sister's money just so he could win. Then he would give it right back after the deadline for adding up the money. But then someone stole it. Evan and Jesse thinks it's Scott Spencer with good reason, being he was acting quite suspicious the day of the incident and ran home when he went inside from the pool to use the bathroom, and then came back out saying he'd go home right now with no reason when the other boys asked. All the facts point to him, so Jesse decides she needs a courtroom for the Lemonade Crime, the sequel to the Lemonade War, something you need to read if you read the first book. The Lemonade War left you with an interesting cliffhanger. Read this book to find out what happened to Evan and Jesse.
Okay, my book is about the Boxcar Children and the Mountaintop Mystery. Author and illustrator, Gertrude Chandler Warner. This book is about the Boxcar Children and the Mountaintop Mystery. These are no regular kids like you and me. They live in a boxcar, Benny, Henry, Violet, Jesse, and their grandfather. They were going to take a trip to Flat Top Mountain and have a picnic on the top of Flat Top Mountain. But then a rock slide happens and they are stuck on the mountain. They use a fire to signal they are in trouble. And will the ranger come to save them? Read this book to find out the mystery on Flat Top Mountain. And if Benny, Henry, Violet, Jesse, and their grandfather make it out alive.
This book is called Ghosts by Rihanna Telgemeier. This book is about Katrina and her family moved to Northern California because of her sister's sickness. As they explore their new home, a neighbor lets them on a secret. There are ghosts in Baja de Lune, their hometown. Maya is determined to meet one, but Kat wants nothing to do with them. As the time the ghosts come this year to see their loved ones, which is on Halloween, Kat must figure out how to put aside her fears for her sister's sake and her own. Read this book to figure out what Kat would do to face her fears and her sister's sake. If you like magical happenings, you should read this book.
Wonder by R.J. Piacio.
This book is about a boy named August that has a weird face. People ask him what happens. Also, he went to a new school. Via Charlotte, Julian helped August to where he needs to go. August gets sad because people said he burned himself in the face. Read this book because if you like wonder and you want to know what his face looks like, also it is a really fun reading this book.